Alright, is this thing on? This thing on? Great.
So I figured it was time for a video update. A little bit of a personal update, a little bit of a state of the channel address. A lot is happening in my life and a lot of stuff is going to change, but I think you'll be quite excited about what's going to happen in the near future. I'll cut to the chase. I got a job, and after months of trying to navigate the smoldering shambles of the American academic landscape, I finally found a postdoc, which is great news. But in order to actually get a job in my field of research, I had to look a bit outside of my original search area. So I'm relocating, away from the Northeast, which I have called my home for basically my entire life. Specifically, I'm leaving the country and I'm relocating to Europe. Yep. I'm moving to Vienna, Austria in March of next year, and I'll be working there for at least a year, likely more. So if you were curious why I randomly went to Wiener Prater by myself earlier this year, there's your explanation. I'll be working at the Medical University of Vienna doing heart pump research, and this is an incredibly exciting opportunity both for my future career and my own personal experience, but I know my job situation isn't super pertinent to the interests of the audience, so I know what you want to hear. What does this mean for the channel? Well, you can figure it out, right? Thomas XL200 is going to take on Europe. I'm extremely excited for the opportunity to travel to many parks that I've dreamed about visiting for years. Obviously, my new home park will be Prater, and it's just about a 15-minute subway ride from my job, but I don't care how much time I'll actually spend in that deeply bizarre place, especially since the coasters aren't incredible, the rides are expensive as hell, and there's no sort of season pass system. I'll definitely get all the credits, it just might take a couple trips. Like, I've already done the ones I wanted to get outside of Alpina Blitz and a few of the cooler flats. What I am more excited about is the future proximity that I will have to some of the best parks that Europe has to offer. But while I was daydreaming about my Europe trips, I quickly realized two things. One, I wasn't sure how far Vienna was from Europe's truly elite parks, and two, I wasn't sure which of Europe's parks are truly considered elite. Like, there's a lot of them, and I should probably try to go to the best ones first, given my potentially limited time. Out of sheer unemployment, I decided to find out by categorizing every major park in Europe, stratifying the parks to develop a sort of priority list based on my perception of the park and its coasters, and outline exactly how to get there. Now, the hard part trying to display this, I made an Excel sheet. See? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Watch it scroll down. It's great. This is about the best I can do with my laptop right now, okay? After gathering every major park in Europe, and major is a subjective metric, so don't shout at me if Peppa Pig World isn't on there or something, I sorted them into 5 major categories. Category 1 are the parks that I will plan entire trips around. Category 2 is made up of 2 distinct parks, which are the parks I will prioritize out of either closeness, Category 2A, or desire to visit, Category 2B. And parks would be nice to hit up, which is Category 3, and parks that I would consider visiting that I were in the area for something else, which is Category 4. And then there's Category 5, which are the parks that exist. I just don't care about them. After the sorting is complete, I am left with 55 parks. Not a bad list. 46 parks if I ignore the 9 that I sorted into Category 5. That seems like it is more than enough. As you can see, my list contains parks from all over the continent, so let's start small with the home park, shall we? AKA Category 2A. Outside of Prater, my nearest home park is Fantasiana, located about 3 hours away from Vienna and easily accessible by both car and rail. And in light of this information, I suddenly have extremely strong opinions about the removal of Wild Train. God damn it, that could have been at my home park. But Fantasiana still looks cool, and their new Mach Striker thingy is fun, I'm sure, even if the park is a tad bit too family-oriented for regular visitation. A half hour from Fantasiana, though, lies Bayern Park, right across the German-Austrian border, with its supposedly insane X-Car coaster Freischütz. I'm definitely excited for that one. Well, let's not bury the lead here. If we focus our gaze to the north, a far but not too far 4 hours away, we have Legendia and Energielandia. I don't need to explain why I'm excited for those. Beyond those aforementioned destinations, there honestly aren't many other parks in day trip distance. But the great thing about Europe is that so much of the continent is a short, cheap flight or an overnight train away. so it won't be a challenge to get to the heavy hitters, so let's talk about them, huh? Category 1. The first ones to stand out in my mind, of course, are the parks in Germany, specifically Europa Park and Phantasialand. Especially since 80% of all the flights from Vienna to America go through Frankfurt, which is close to those two parks and also near Holiday Park, aka Plopsaland Deutschland. Efteling in the Netherlands is a quick skip from Amsterdam's airport, which is another major international hub. And finally, my other two Cat 1 parks, which are Portaventura and Liseberg, are both cheap and direct Ryanair flights away. And sure, Liseberg is a bit of a trip from Copenhagen, which is the closest airport with a direct connection, but I want to visit Copenhagen and Gothenburg anyway. I plan to take full advantage of these trips to thoroughly explore Europe and all of its beautiful cities. So many amazing coasters are in Category 1, it's kinda crazy. Voltron, Fly, Zadra, Lek Coaster, Wodan, Hyperion, Helix, Expedition G-Force, Silver Star, Red Force, Black Mamba, Shambhala, Blue Fire. Also, just the park experiences, like Europa Park, Phantasialand, and Efteling are legendarily beautiful, and I can't wait to experience that incredible theming myself. Especially because, unlike Disney, those parks actually have thrilling rides. So that's all the Category 1 parks, so let's move to Category 2B, which are the parks that are high on my priority list. I expect to hit all of these by the end of my tenure at Vienna, though I will focus on the aforementioned Cat 1 parks first. Wallaby Holland, Parque Warner Madrid, and Plopsaland Japan are some of the heavy hitters in this bracket, and honestly, out of all the incredible coasters you could find in Category 2B, I think I'm the most excited for Stuntfall, the Vekoma Giant Inverted Boomerang. And Ride to Happiness, okay, fine, I guess I'm excited about that one too. Tivoli Gardens doesn't really have an amazing coaster lineup, but I just really want to experience that beautiful park in the heart of Copenhagen. And Tivoli seems like Wienerlieder if it wasn't run by a loose confederation of people who'd be hawking sketchy hair tonics in the 1920s. And I'd love to get on Rutschebanen, a brakeman coaster. You definitely don't see those in America. While I'm there, I might as well swing by Bakken and try my hand at Boost Mode Tornado too. And finally, in Category 2B, there's Park Asterix, which would easily place in my top category if I hadn't, gone there already. It's okay though, Goodery. My beloved, I'm gonna come back for you. It helps that Park Asterix happens to be 15 minutes away from Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is another big international airport hub, even if it is hell on earth. And next we move into Category 3. These parks would be nice to visit, and I'll probably end up getting to them, but I wouldn't be absolutely heartbroken if I end up missing out on them, which is why I'm prioritizing the Category 2 parks first. And this category includes the less prolific German parks like Hansa Park and Heide Park, Wallaby Belgium, some of the northern Italian parks like Gardaland and Maribalandia, a lot of the Scandinavian parks like the Summerlands. There's a lot of parks in this category. Just look at the map, alright? Just look at the map. Take a look for yourself. And if you see a park on this list that you desperately believe I should hold in higher regard, please let me know in the comments before it's too late. The odd man out in Category 3, which I do want to make note of, is Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I have been there before, and I should probably prioritize other parks as a result, but I love Blackpool enough to potentially entertain flying to Manchester and schlepping 2 grueling hours north to visit that sad seaside resort again. I just need to get Enso and ride the big one a bunch more times. It helps that the flights there are cheap at least. Then there's Category 4, which are the if I'm in the area parks. A lot of these parks do benefit from their proximity to higher category parks such as the apparently hilarious Movieland in Italy and Movie Park Germany. God, I need to get on Bandit, don't I? There's a lot here to keep me busy if I burn through my list more quickly than I expected, and that includes potentially revisiting Thorpe Park and Alton Towers, 2 UK parks which are fun enough, but not exactly worthy of a return trip when there are so many other parks in Europe that I have not visited at all. Finally, we have the last category, which covers parks that exist. Good for them. I don't really care, and I didn't even put them on the map. Sorry, Disney heads, don't expect to see me spending any significant time at the Disneyland Paris Resort when Goodery is right there. And apologies to Schwaben Park and Skyline Park in Germany. I'm sure they're nice enough places, but I think I have enough parks on my plate at this point, don't you think? Outside of coasters, there's a lot of other travel that I want to do. Vienna's close to some incredible cities like Prague, Budapest, Munich, Bratislava, Brno, Krakow, and Belgrade that don't really have coasters, but they're worth visiting because they're incredible places. I'd rather go to Budapest than to Paulton's Park in Chessington. Sorry, not sorry. And one more potential thing. It's not on the list, but my Eastern European placement does mean that Japan and Korea are quite a bit closer. No guarantees here, though. It is still quite the trek. I cannot promise that I will actually make it out to Japan. It's going to depend on a lot of factors, and it might come down to whether or not I have an academic conference in the area, which is actually a pretty decent chance of that happening, but regardless, a Japan trip is in the back of my mind. Anyways, let's get out of Fantasyland for a minute and head back to my list. Let's do some math. Let's assume that I managed to hit all of the parks in the first 3 categories I have, and I have a hit rate of 75% because, let's be real, stuff will be closed, and I'm not whoring myself out on kitty creds. My quick little napkin math estimate leaves me at a very healthy 154 credits. Not too shabby. We'll see what happens, though. Who knows? It seems like 400 credits by the end of 2026 is not out of the question, and that would be pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm moving to Europe and I have a lot of exciting parks to visit. Awesome stuff, right? Next up, I wanted to do a little bit of a state of the channel address. So firstly, I'm sure some of you are curious how such a seismic shift in my life is going to affect the channel. Well, the good news is that I definitely plan to keep on going. I've reached the point where I use this channel and making videos as a distraction from the existential horrors of my own mind, so I guess I'm too far gone. Yay! And maybe with a European work-life balance, I can develop a more consistent upload schedule, but no promises about that. I plan to build a new, more powerful computer once I move over to Europe, which should improve my editing workflow a good amount. The big thing that might change, though, is the genre of videos that I would do. I want to ask you for your thoughts. As I know a lot of the audience, like me, is American, I'm sure a lot of you have never made it to the parks that I plan to visit. So with that in mind, would you like to see more vlog-style content as I visit all these European parks? Park reports, maybe live streams from the parks themselves? Like, don't worry, long-form content won't be going away. A heavier focus on vlog-style videos just might change the video balance a bit. I still plan on making elegies, crash courses, and all that good stuff that requires an insane amount of effort because I'm just built that way, unfortunately. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. I also have a few months before the move actually takes place as I don't start working till March, so you might be wondering what's going to happen in the short term. Well, it's going to depend on a couple of factors. My current living in my parents' basement situation is also not very conducive for streaming, so that will likely stay on hold as well. I mean, it's been a while since I've done those game streams anyway, but I'll probably get back into it once I settle in overseas. If you're really craving more stream content, let me know. I'll try to make something work if there's enough support. The key is that there's enough support. And as for any new parks I might be visiting short term, I'm probably done for a bit. IDK, I might make it to Epic and BGT before I get to Europe, but don't expect anything more. And that's okay by me. It's been a pretty productive year, as you'll see in my end of the year video, and next year will be even more insane. You saw the list. I'm expecting to hit the triple digits in credits next year pretty comfortably. It's just going to be a bit of a gap before that next season begins. Winter is coming and all that. I hope to get some sort of videos out over the next few months before I make the move, but once I do get settled over there, I think I should be able to return to the level of quality and quantity I've been providing in the past. And finally, IDK how many of you are actually interested in this, but if you're curious, I'll talk about my channel's performance this year. The beginning of this year was honestly a pretty rough time for the channel, especially compared to last year, which was my best year so far. But the second half of the year was thankfully a nice turnaround. My most successful video was the Six Flags America Elegy with almost 3,000 views. I'm really happy to see that video did well, as I obviously busted my ass on that thing. As did my computer. I'm pretty sure that the reason my computer died is because of that hour-and-a-half long video. It's still not in my top 10 though, at least views-wise, so if you haven't seen the SFA Elegy already, now's a great time to watch. After we're done here. The Canada's Wonderland ranking video came in a close second, so maybe I'll do more ranking videos like that in the future. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The ranking sort of video seemed to do a lot better than my old tier list, so I feel like I might stick to that moving forward. My two worst performing videos were the Hollywood Nights Trip Report and the Canyon Blaster Marathon, which I kinda understand for the latter because I was struggling with audio problems in the Canyon Blaster video. I at least had fun making it. Some of the other marathon vids did better, so I'll probably do marathon vids at some of the European parks. People seem to like it. At the time of this script writing, 2025 has given my channel 45,000 views, 3,500 watch hours, and 245 new subs, which is enough to push me over 1,500 subscribers, so thanks for that, guys. But unfortunately, those numbers are down a decent bit compared to last year, so I hope that 26 will continue to improve the channel growth. Fingers crossed. Of course, my channel would be nowhere without the support of you, my viewers. And I know it's cliche to say, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this channel what it is. You are the reason that I have any sort of success in the first place. That said, a small channel like mine does benefit a lot from additional engagement, so any engagement you can provide would really mean the world. Especially if you made it this far into the video. Like the videos, comment to help the profile of the video in the algorithm, and hype the video especially. Genuinely, my most successful videos in the second half of 2025 received a lot of hype, so I do actually think the YouTube hype feature is making a difference. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With your help, I cannot wait to continue the growth of the channel and hopefully maintain this good streak of success I've been seeing for the past few months. So to sum things up, a lot is going to change very soon, but I'm really excited for the future of this channel, and I hope you are too. I'm taking on Europe, and I'm looking forward to sharing the next stage of my life with all of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.